Hi everyone. You're familiar with the Wendy's restaurant print sets. This week, we're going to take a look at the specifications. So please pull out your textbook, open up to chapter 8, and follow along. I've opened up my ebook so that we can look at this together. And I'm here on page 337 looking at the index to the specifications. And the first thing I want you to notice is that this set of specs follows that same CSI master format that we've studied before with the brick veneer residence. So looking at this index, we've got Division 3, Concrete 4, Masonry 5, Metals. Those division numbers are referring to the CSI master spec divisions. But let me scroll back up here. Something that wasn't included, or at least we didn't take a close look at it in the brick veneer residence, is this Division 1 general requirements. I'm going to turn to that page. What are general requirements? Well, they are things that cover the entire project and not necessarily just one piece of it. In this particular project, and this does not hold true for all of them, but in this particular project, they've chosen to include the construction contract. All right, so let's take a look at it together. The construction contract is a signed document between the contractor and the owner. And the purpose of this document is just to really lay it out and make sure everyone knows their own responsibilities, both of these parties know that their responsibilities, and they know exactly what they're getting into. So taking a look at the beginning, Article 1, contractors work, and you'll find that they have defined what exactly the contractor should do. All right. The contractor shall construct the work, which is the building on the premises. All right. Moving on to the next article, start date. This is all about the schedule of the project. Now, not all of the intermediate steps, but it's defining when the project should start and the overall duration. You can see that there is a important substantial completion date. So when the project starts, they are giving a certain duration, no longer than X number of calendar days, until the project should be finished. Turning to the next page, let's talk about permits here. All projects need to be submitted to the city or county in which they're located. They're going to go through a review and approval process. And when the project is approved to begin construction, it will receive a permit. Let's talk about this section on contract documents. Starting with this piece. What are contract documents? They're going to be the print set, so any drawings, the specifications, and any other documents such as contracts, etc. All right. All of these are complementary. They're supposed to work together. All right. So, and the language here, that is what is called for by one shall be as binding as if called for by all. So if something is mentioned, even on only one page, it needs to be included in the project. But what if there's a conflict or an error in the contract documents? What if one thing says item A and the other page says item B? Let's take a look at the next line. All right, so if any conflicts are found, the contractor needs to raise a flag, all right, and ask and make sure that that gets clarified, all right, and this has to happen before they proceed with any work. Scrolling down to the next section on payment. All right, so it's important that the contractor get paid for their work. All right, but with large projects like this, and even truthfully, even with smaller projects, they don't want just a lump sum at the end of the project. The contractor needs intermediate payments. All right, and so you can see in this section, they're setting up at least four, it's right here, four progress payments at specific milestones when different things are completed in the project. Turning the page, let's talk about punch lists. Near the end of a project, the project team, including representatives from the contractor, from the owner, from the architects, will walk the project together and make a definitive list of anything that is yet to do, it's still needs to be done, or that is not accepted, all right, and needs to be redone or reworked. It's called a punch list, and it's literally a checklist of items that still have to be finished. The next thing on this list is called change orders. Now, even though an architect and an owner may have worked for months to really define what it is the project needs to be and how it's going to be built and created a beautiful set of contract documents, there's always changes. All right, things come up that need to be changed. But we need a process for changes to be um, uh, approved and for all that information to be collected. And that process is called a change order. So the important thing is that when a change is proposed, no matter whose idea it is, all right, it needs to be written up in a written document. It needs to go through an approval process, and it has to actually be approved before any of the change takes place. Okay, I've skipped a couple pages here, and I want to talk about the contractor's warranty in this section here. All right, so a contractor will give a warranty for their work. This is like a guarantee to make sure that they will come back if something breaks, and that they guarantee that the work has been done to the contract documents and to the specified level of construction. But it's important for the contractor's perspective to kind of limit that guarantee. After all, they don't want to be coming back out here for 10 years fixing things that the user has broken, etc. All right, so take a look through this warranty section. You can see that the owner is protected, and it's important to also protect the contractor in this section. Finally, at the end of this contract, I'm on page 346 here, there is space for the contractor and the owner, a representative from each, to sign and agree to this contract. Also included in this general requirements section of the specifications is an ADA checklist. Now, this is going to be very specific to the jurisdiction, to the city or county in which this project is built, whether they make you include any kind of checklist. So I want you to take a look through this, but realize that this format, this particular document, may or may not be required for your project. After the ADA checklist, and let me scroll down to the bottom of the page here, we get into our specific divisions of work. And the first one here is Division 2, Site Construction. The interesting thing to note, and let me turn the page, is that this set of specifications is a little bit different format than the ones you saw before. All right, although they are organizing kind of the divisions in like chapter headings, all right, in these specifications, they aren't giving individual item numbers, all right. Instead, they're giving general requirements and then specific requirements in subheadings under these categories. Thanks everyone for walking through the general requirements section of the Wendy's restaurant specifications with me. All right, go ahead and keep going and take a look through the rest of these specifications.